Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I want to talk about self-reliance, how to be self-reliant. Point 1. You need financial self-reliance. All of you who've worked for a company or a corporation and have now been laid off or given 80% of your salary plus home office, all of you who are frightened of being laid off or who can't find work, understand that by working for anybody, you are not self-reliant. What you need to do is start becoming financially self-reliant. To do this, you need to personally take charge of how you make an income, whether by selling things through eBay, by painting pictures, by doing freelance work, writing reviews. It doesn't matter how, but you personally need to start bringing in a form of income for which you personally are responsible. I'm not saying give up work. I'm not saying stop working in an office or in a factory. I'm saying you need to start making other sources of income, preferably which you can do online. The more forms of income you have, the more security you have, the more self-reliant you are. The aim is to become 100% self-reliant, and that requires multiple forms of income and normally some passive income. For example, if you have property, by renting out the property. Number 2, philosophically self-reliant. This is often overlooked because people focus on this sort of idealized fantasy about moving to northern Alaska and living completely off-grid. Philosophically self-reliant is where you take responsibility for your own decisions, actions and thoughts. Anytime somebody tells you something, take it with a grain of salt. Do your research. Compare and contrast other opinions and come to your conclusion based on your findings. When the media tells you something, it may not always be true. Many people go through life believing what they're told by the government, by the media, by their parents, by their church, by their boss. All people have their own reasons for telling you to do something. It may be altruistic, it may not. If you're in a train station and a stranger came up to you and said, I'm going to tell you how to run your life and how to raise your kids, you wouldn't say, okay, and then follow him. You'd say, ho, I don't know you from Adam. Unless you know government ministers, scientists, popes, personally, unless you can pop round their house and get a cup of sugar from them, they are strangers. They may be doing things for the right reason, they may not. And their right reason might infringe upon yours. It's not very often where everybody's a happy teddy. So, become philosophically and mentally self-reliant. Ultimately, you are responsible for your own life, your own decisions and your own actions. We've heard in history, I was only following orders. Doesn't matter what level this is at, it's true. Adopt a self-reliant lifestyle. This includes everything. This includes what you eat, where you live, and what activities you do. If you spend your time going to corporate fast food outlets, if you smoke cigarettes, if you get drunk every weekend, you are basically giving your money away to a corporation. Now, if you grew your own tobacco and smoked a pipe, if you brewed your own beer at home or your own wine, that's different. But every time you're buying corporate products, that's a part of basically your income which is going straight out the window. Same goes for buying cars. We are constantly bombarded with advertising for new cars. If you can afford to pay cash for a car, go for it. If it's going to put you into debt, it's not your car. Until you pay off that debt, it is not your car. Same goes for houses, but that is a different ball game. Don't take a huge mortgage for a McMansion. Start small, like your grandparents would have done. Try and climb the property ladder. Always try to keep control of your finances. With your diet, try and grow as many vegetables as you can. Try and buy locally. Don't be reliant on constant imports of exotic foods and vegetables and fruit. The more you can produce for yourself and your family, the more reliant you are on yourself, not others. If the supply chain goes down and you have no means of providing food for yourself and your family, you're going to be in a queue, begging. And that is when they say to you, we will give you food, we will give you money, but you have to agree to certain conditions. You have lost your self-reliance. Fourth point. During lockdown, develop yourself. Spend your free time now developing your knowledge and your skills. As money allows, start stocking up on food, a means of preferably dried or canned food, long life, some form of water purification system, candles, but be safe with candles indoors, just in case the food supply goes down or we have a cyber pandemic, which is predicted by the World Economic Forum. You might lose internet, you might lose mobile connection, you might lose Wi-Fi, you might lose electricity. Always have something at home so you can weather a short storm. You don't want to have to rely on the government or your local council or the charity of others. You're the one who should be out there helping. A society made of strong, self-reliant individuals is a healthy society, but it's not what they want. They want uniformity and conformity and confusion. Self-reliance is about developing you as an individual so you can be the best you possibly can. As always, be free.